So in the last video, we created a snack bar with the Android design library. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to change it up. So whenever you click on the button, and I'll show you in the emulator here, but every time you click on the button, instead of displaying a snack bar at the bottom, we're going to actually make it go to a new screen. Now, screens in Android are called activities, so let's create a new activity. What do we need to do first? Well, let's go to the left, and there are a number of ways you can do it. There actually is kind of you can go to new, wherever it is. Oh, that's not where it is. Anyway, there are a couple of ways to do it, but what we're going to do is we're going to create it manually. So let's first go into our Android view. So we're viewing Android here, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete these because we created these earlier and we don't need them. We don't want them. I'm going to delete them. Okay, so they're gone. So if we open up Java, and we open up the first one, not any of the test packages, but the main activity. Here we have main activity. So let's go to the package name, and I'm gonna right click on it and go to new Java class. And let's name this game. So say we're gonna go from the main activity or main screen to a game. So I'm gonna go ahead and just click OK. And this is, don't worry about that, I'm doing something else. But we need to, so it opens up our, that box won't open up for you unless you're using Git. We might touch on Git a little bit later. But it creates a new Java class called game. So we open up Java, open up the first one, and see here's our game. Double click on it to open it up, and here we are. So we need to do a couple of things. We want it to be kind of like our main activity, and you see how the main activity extends app compat activity, so we need to extend app compat activity. Now we need to go inside of there and between the two yellow braces, so right there and right there, make us some space. Let's do, I'll do Control Enter, I'll do override on create, just start typing on create, and there it's generated for us. So that'll generate that on create method for us. So if you didn't catch that, I'll do it one more time just so we can go over it. So create some space, go up, do Control Enter on a Mac, start typing override, and override methods comes up, hit enter. Then once this box starts to open up, or once it's open, just start typing on create. It'll automatically select it for you, hit enter, and it'll create that method for you. So a lot of helpful generation. Now let's do set content view r.id.game. So what we're doing is we're saying, hey, so every time we open up the game activity or the game screen, I want to extend some basic libraries for the screen. I want it to be a screen, and onCreate is called whenever it first gets called. So we want to say, hey, so onCreate, we want to set the view to our game view, and we don't have that yet. So let's open up resources. So resources over on the left, layout. I'm going to right click on that, do new game, and the defaults is fine, and you won't get this. You won't get that Git pop-up message, only I will. So let's zoom into here and let's do something. Let's add a text view. I'm just gonna click and drag. So we have a text view, and let's see. Let's do something over here. Let's type game. So now if we zoom in, we can see it says game. All right, it's not moved. There we go. So it says game, and this is our basic activity. So let's go back to game.xml. And oh, instead of r.id, it's layout. Sorry about that. Layout, r.layout.game. So it's basically saying r is what Android generates for us. Go into the layouts folder and something called game. So yeah, I just forgot. Instead of ID, it's layout. I just messed up there. So there's a couple of things we need to do. Let's go back to our main activity. Actually, let's go to activity main. Let's say, hey, every time somebody clicks this button, instead of viewing the snack bar like we have here, let's go to the new screen. So I'm going to comment that out with 2 lines at the beginning. Let's do start activity, the new intent, and I'm just auto-filling it out. So main activity.class game, .this game.class. So what we're saying is, hey, whenever somebody clicks on that, and remember, onClick is called when everything that's between those 2 symbols will happen once you click on the button. So we're going to start a new activity, which basically means screen in Android, and we're going to use a new intent, and I can break that up to its own line, but it's just shorter this way. We're going to say, hey, so a new intent, main activity is what we're on right now, and we want to go to game. So go from main activity, and we just use this, to game.class. So I'm going to save it, and that's not going to work. That's going to give us an error. We need to go into the manifest file, and like we talked about in the first video, we need to actually add the activity. Just say, hey, we created this activity that's going to be in the app. Just want you to know about it. So we see we already have one activity here for the main activity. I'm going to go below that and start typing activity and then game. That's fine. And I'm going to close it like that and save it. I'm going to go back here, and I think this will work. So I'm going to go ahead and run it, and I'm going to open up the emulator and see if this works. This should work. This will take a couple of seconds to load. The emulator is just a little bit slow. Don't worry about it. It'll open up in just a second here, I hope. Just like right now, if we click on the button, it just shows the snack. Here we go. So here's the app. It opens up, and I'm going to click on the button, and there it is. There's our game. So that's how to go from one activity to a new activity in Android Studio with the Android SDK. Again, I'm just going to go over it. So first we created our new class, our Java class over here. We named it game. We said, hey, we want to load the layout over here called game. So game. Then we created that. We just added some text there. And then in our main activity on the on click, we said, hey, we want to start an activity. This is what we're at right now. This is what we want to go to. So hopefully you learned how to go from, activity to activity, and this should help you out. We'll cover more stuff in the next video. Thanks.